Hello and welcome to Clear as Mud, my YouTube channel dedicated to learning and teaching in academia. My name is Krish Bubber and I'll be hosting this video. This video is part of a series called Explaining My Work, which focuses on a short overview of papers I have published. The paper I'm talking about today is titled An Overview of the Teaching Assistant Consultant Program for Developing Competency in Novice Engineering Graduate Teaching Assistants. This paper provides an overview of a flexible, discipline-specific training program for novice graduate teaching assistants, or GTAs. This work was presented at the Canadian Engineering Education Association's annual conference hosted at the University of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. The full paper is available at my ResearchGate site, and this URL, along with the details about the conference, are posted in the video description below. As an overview of this paper, I will discuss the motivating challenge behind a discipline-specific training program, followed by a description of the Teaching Assistant Consultant, or TAC program, as a means of addressing this challenge. I will then finish with a brief description of the specific implementation we are using in engineering at the University of Victoria. Motivating challenge. None of the items listed should be a surprise to anyone teaching STEM courses in Canada. Class sizes are growing, and there's a strong push towards a student-centric learning environment. There's often the gap in novice GTAs in supporting this student-centric learning environment, while the number of international graduate students are growing, for which they experience their own unique challenges as teaching assistants. This raises the question, how do we close this competency gap? Both Bowman and Meadows from the University of Western Ontario have identified experientially based training programs as a strong mechanism. In their research, they identify three top-level learning outcomes for such a program, which are improving teacher self-efficacy, emphasizing a student-centered teaching approach, and decreasing anxiety, especially with regards to public speaking. In particular, two different TA training models are often used. The first is training conducted at the institution level, which is common at most universities. In this model, the training programs are centralized and often deliver generic skills, ethical considerations, and introduce GTAs to campus resources. These programs are efficient at utilizing resources because of their generic nature, but cannot address discipline-specific training requirements, for example, signature pedagogies, or offer a continuous training model with monitoring and feedback. On the other hand, the second training model is discipline-specific, implemented at the faculty or department level. In any large institution, each department operates as a silo with specific knowledge, culture, and experiences based on historical development. Success as a GTA often requires knowing how to traverse the discipline-specific intricacies. Both levels of training serve an important role in developing competency for novice GTAs, and we've implemented both at the University of Victoria. In our experience, the discipline-specific training programs are less common, and thus we focus the rest of this work on addressing how we close this gap through the Teaching Assistant Consultant, or TAC program. The first obvious question is, what is a teaching assistant consultant? The TAC is a leadership role for which a teaching assistant with expertise teaching in their discipline acts as a mentor to all graduate teaching assistants in their home department. The TAC trains novice GTAs through developing and delivering instruction through experiential workshops and holding one-on-one consultations. The TAC also serves to create a community of practice for which all GTAs may discuss and reflect on their teaching experiences. In terms of logistics, the TAC role is based on a joint employment model for which the Institutional Learning and Teaching Center, or LTC, and target department provide equal funding to support the role. The TAC is then managed by the LTC, but is instructed to build a relationship with department leadership to identify current teaching-related training requirements and address them through implementation of targeted training protocols. In terms of the program structure, there are three core values of the TAC program. 1. The program is flexible. The TAC is able to address the current and specific needs of the department. 2. Continuous quality improvement. TACs gather data from GTA participants to assess the effectiveness of their interventions. And finally, 3. Sustainable. TACs generate a standardized report to communicate their program, which acts as a historical reference for the subsequent TAC. Now that we've described the structure of the TAC program, I will follow with brief details about our specific implementation in engineering at the University of Victoria. The primary method of delivering instruction is via experiential-based workshops, and we presently have 5 distinct workshops that we use. Those 5 workshops include Being an International TA, run by our International TAC, Roles and Responsibilities of an Engineering TA, Time Management, Conflict Management, and finally, Coaching and Facilitation. In terms of developing a community of practice, the TAC organizes a TA coffee meetup, marking parties where the TAs bring their unmarked assignments and the TAC provides hands-on guidance on best practices, roundtable discussions, and of course, social events. In the case where confidential support is required, GTAs can book a one-on-one consultation to address individual needs such as selecting an appropriate TA position. As necessary, TACs will refer GTAs to campus resources such as counseling services. For underperforming GTAs, TACs will perform teaching observations using a standardized process. Finally, to manage the communication logistics, the TAC uses an LMS system as a central repository for documentation, relevant URLs, and a social forum to facilitate discussions. Our references for this body of work. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. As mentioned previously, the full paper for which this video is based may be found on my ResearchGate page. You can access this paper by either typing the shortened URL into your browser or checking the video description below. Please leave any comments on ResearchGate. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to be notified when future videos are posted. Thanks again.